Okay. Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to MSME Pathshala 2.0, initiative by MSME and Startup Committee of ICAI. Today, it's a pleasure to host our esteemed panelists, Dr. Pinky Agarwal, and as well as the committee chairman with us, Mr. Gyanchand Mishra ji. So the agenda of the webinar will be to go through the Maharashtra state policy, which will be given brief by CA Dr. Pinky Agarwal, who's the expert matter on the subject. Now, since we already have, we are very honored to host this meeting in the presence of our chairman of the committee, Mr. Gyanchand Mishra ji. So let me introduce Mr. Gyanchand ji for you all. See, Gyanchand Mishra is a fellow chartered accountant, also associate member of ICSI. He's a qualified current auditor and an insolvency professional. He's also a law graduate and holds a master's degree in commerce. Presently, he is serving the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India as a Central Council member for the term 2025 to 2029. He is chairman of Insolvency and Valuation Standard Board, chairman of Committee on MSME and Startup, and vice chairman of Peer Review Board, and also a member on various standing and non-standing committee boards and directorates. He has more than 26 years of professional standing to his credit as an established chartered accountant. He has a rich exposure of entire gamut of accounting, proven adroitness in audit and assurance, and cognizance in the audit of capital market firms. He has served as a speaker at various forums and addressed many seminars, webinars, and conferences on professional subjects, including company insolvency and bankruptcy, standards on auditing, CARO, and code of conduct and professional ethics. So, your credentials are, I think it cannot be listed in few words and few sentences. I think it goes on, but we have tried to give a brief to our audience. We are honored to host you on this panel. So let us hear something from you on this matter before we go on to Pinky ji.
So thank you so much, Sabha. Very distinguished speaker of today's Pathshala, Sri Dr. Pinky Agarwal Madam, Sabha Sheikh Madam, Honorable Moderator, and all the respected participants. Good afternoon to one and all. Friends, we all understand that MSME is playing very pivotal role in the economic development of the country. If we see after budget 2025, more than 90% of the, I am not, taken statistics, this is a rough idea that I'm sharing with you, that more than 90% of the entrepreneurs are coming within the ambit of the MSME now. Because if we see the criteria with respect to the turnover and capital investment that has been raised, the idea would be that the companies and the entrepreneurs, enterprises, they must get the benefit of the MSMEs. Whatever way the government is supporting, that should come in total to the MSMEs in the same way. Friends, I am happy to share that this year the committee has undertaken so many new opportunities, and in those new opportunities, the first one comes with respect to the one flagship program the committee is going to organize on 26th and 27th of June in Mumbai. And this event shall be one of the hallmark event where we shall launch so many, initiatives of the committee, which will take the, shape over there, and which will be launched by Honorable President of the Institute as well as Cabinet Minister of the MSME of the country. Friends, there are so many, financing opportunities, so many funding, so many subsidy opportunity from the central governments as well as the state government. The committee has taken the initiative that on every Friday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. there is this virtual webinar where the MSME initiatives, schemes, subsidy are being discussed of one specific state. Today, we are going to discuss Maharashtra state MSME policy, and a very wonderful speaker, C. Dr. Pinky Agarwal, is with us. I got the opportunity to interact with her 2, 3 times, and I understand she is doing very good in terms of practice as MSME herself, and of course guiding to MSME. So this is rare combination, that MSME teaching to MSME, and we must enjoy her, wonderful knowledge, her thought process, and most importantly, her wisdom with respect to the MSME. Sabha Sheikh, who is again one very leading practitioner in Mumbai, she is moderating the session. So we'll request all the participants to enjoy today's program. And one more request, we are going to start the registration for the Mumbai event from today or tomorrow. We'll request to kindly register for the event and also refer to your friends and colleagues so that this event could be made as one of the mega event, and the institute could really contribute in the entire ecosystem of the MSME and startup. So thank you one and all for patient listening. Now over to Sabha Madam. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gyanchandji, for your guidance, and we are really excited to about the Mumbai event, especially, and also the other plans that you have in Kitty for MSCP and Startup Committee. We look forward, and we expect all the participants also to participate in huge numbers. Let me now start by introducing CA Dr. Pinky Agarwal. This is a name that most of the Mumbaikars don't need an introduction to. She's been a speaker for Navi Mumbai and Mumbai since a long time, and also an inspiration to many. But still, let me give you a formal introduction to her. CA Dr. Pinky Agarwal is a distinguished chartered accountant and doctorate in commerce with over 27 years of professional academic experience. She is an expert in audit, NDS implementation, ESG reporting, and financial innovation, having served as a resource person for leading institutions such as IIM Mumbai, NMIMS, and the Indian Institute of Banking and Finance. She had been associated with key consulting and advisory roles at organizations like Bonds India, BJN and Co., Morphin Advisors, and Khaitan and Associates. An award-winning professional, she has been recognized as a star woman by ICA, WIRC, and an impactful finance leader at CFO Conflex Awards. Beyond her consulting expertise, she has co-authored several acclaimed books on taxation and financial management. And she continues to contribute through research, teaching, and thought leadership. So, Pinky ma'am, over to you. And we would like to hear more about what you have for us today. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabha, for your wonderful introduction. So it's nothing. And I'm really thankful to the committee of MSME with their wonderful initiative they are taking every Friday. They are conducting this session, this webinars, just to update the policy changes in MSME so that we can just get means awareness of the changes in the policy. Uh, Somehow we can't imagine also there are so much to provide for MSMEs. Means we can really grow very fast if we take the opportunity whatever the government is providing to us. And with the CA Institute initiatives and this committee, CA Gyanchand Mishra ji and CA Arpit Kabra, we can of course think that this journey will be endless. So we are going to avail this opportunity, and rightly said by him, there will be a conference in Mumbai very shortly, and we are looking forward to it. All the MSMEs, believe me, I was also there in the meeting, and it was such a means you can say a well curated event is going to happen, and a lot of things are there where you can definitely take advantage of everything whatever the institute and the government is providing to us. So, not to delay further, let us. I just want to brief little bit about MSME's Maharashtra MSME policy. So, I'll start with my presentation. I hope my screen is visible. This we are used to asking, you can say during the pandemic time, we have become used to of asking that my screen is visible or not. So let's start this. So today's topic is Maharashtra state MSME policy, and we are going to discuss some changes. Though the policy, the most important change was happened in 2023, but of course, there are a few more changes that happened with effect from April 2025. So we are going to discuss both of them, and we can definitely go forward with all these opportunities which the government is providing. Like again, rightly said by Gyan Chandji, ki the classification criteria of MSc has changed now. So now micro, small, and medium enterprises, the definition has changed. So we have to be very careful ki where we are following. So that is why this chart is quite. It will give you a clear idea ki what was the provision earlier and what are the changes which has happened now. So if it's a micro enterprise, in order to fall under the category of micro enterprise, uh, here one thing to be noted is here ki earlier before 2020, only criteria was investment limit. But what happened, service sector and IT sector were left aloof. So they also claim that ki we also want to avail the MSME benefit which the government is providing. So in order to include them also, so the investment and turnover limit both came under the radar of classification criteria. So so investment and turnover both are now considered whenever you are classifying an MSME. So what is happening? Ki if you want to fall under the category of micro enterprises, earlier the investment limit was 1 crore and turnover limit was 5 crore. But now the revised investment limit, so it has been with effect from April 2025, it has been implemented. So here the revised investment limit is 2.5 crore and turnover limit is 10 crore. So, in order to fall under this category, also your investment limit and turnover limit should fulfill this criteria. In order to fall under small enterprise, the earlier criteria was 10 crores and 50 crores, which has been raised to 25 crores and 100 crores. For medium enterprises, it was 50 crores and 250 crores, which has been increased to 125 crores and 500 crores. So you can see that how drastically the investment and turnover limit has changed. The you can say the limit has increased now to fall under the MSME category. Also, one thing to be remembered here is that both the criteria should be fulfilled in order to fall under a certain category. So, this is how the classification is now being done. So, be very careful whenever you want to classify any entrepreneur, any organization under MSME, you need to fulfill this criteria. Now, again, like rightly said by our chairman, that ki MSME really contribute a lot to the economic development of our nation, and we cannot ignore their contribution, though they are not, you can say, discussed as such. The big organization are discussed as such, but if we see that a major crunch of the GDP is contributed by MSMEs only. So if you see, this is just you can say an ad hoc figure, or as a means what 30%, 30% of India's GDP is contributed by MSMEs, and around 49% of countries export. So you can imagine, so MSME from starting from the vendors, street vendors, anyone they can fall under MSME criteria if they are fulfilling the MSME classification criteria, and all if taken together, they are really, you can say, they have means 50% of the country's export they are doing, and they are providing employment to over 110 million people. So many people think that okay, in order to find a job opportunity, we have to look for or scroll for the big companies, large organization. But if you want to really go for a job opportunity also, and if you're not getting opportunity there, there are lots and lots of MSMEs who are not even mentioned also, and they can pay a very good amount. So it's not like that ki MSMEs, if you imagine, okay, they cannot pay or they are very small, you can say, salary provider, they can also provide a lot, means you can say they have a lot. So here you can see a huge contribution to India's economy is done by MSMEs. Now, since our topic today is about Maharashtra policy, so let us discuss about Maharashtra's contribution, how MSMEs are contributing to Maharashtra's economy. So here, if you will see that Maharashtra being a big metropolitan city, here also MSMEs contribute a lot, and they are nearly contributing 35% of Maharashtra total exports. So you can see this ki total export of Maharashtra 35%, nearly 30. So it is more than that. Is done by MSMEs. They are employing again more than 1.4 crore people to the organization, and there are 48 plus lakh registered SMEs in Maharashtra. So you can see the huge number. And if we want to pitch in, so we have great opportunity even for job, even for consultancy purpose. There's a huge opportunity for all the professionals if we want to pitch in the MSMEs also. And with the initiative of this committee, you can see that MSME is going to come forward and we can avail a huge, you can say, consultancy opportunity, audit, taxation, any opportunity, professional opportunities we can take just by just meeting those MSMEs also. And the conference which are going to come on 26 and 27, that will be a huge platform wherein this opportunity is it's going to happen there. So here you can see that key contribution of MSMEs to Maharashtra economy is also humongous, and we cannot ignore their contribution to Maharashtra's economy. So what is happening? Let us just see how this MSME policy evolved in Maharashtra from when it started. It's actually the journey. So in 2006, there were generally only generic manufacturing, that is capital subsidies provided to the MSMEs. And then the government felt ki no, as MSMEs, not only the capital subsidies, they require more. So they need to be nurtured, they need to be trained also in order to go forward and in order to make them employable. So they started with the skill development and semi-urban enterprise promotion also from 2013. Now, if we see that even in our profession also, a single, you can say, entrepreneur or single CA cannot provide so many facilities. So our institute is also promoting we should join together, and we can form a team so that under one roof we can offer lot many services to our client. Same is with the government also for SMEs also. So what is happening? The government is now promoting from 2019 cluster based infra. So they are requesting all the MSMEs to join together and form clusters so that they can enjoy the group incentives which they can get, and also they can avail the services of each other in order to grow. So that is it. From 2019, the government started the initiative of cluster based infra and sector specific support. So agro, textile, all these came into this radar, and they were actually focusing especially to this. Even the areas also, like Naxal areas, D plus areas, so a lot of backward areas were also promoted in this era, so that they can also grow and they can come forward, contribute to the economy of our nation. The major MSME policy change happened in 2023, wherein the emphasis was more on digital and green inclusive growth. So, the nation, as we see, we all are moving towards sustainability. We are all promoting sustainability. And it's not a buzzword, it's a need of the hour, you can say. So we need to follow green revolution, or you can say sustainability. So green inclusive growth happened, and they gave lot of initiative for those MSMEs which promoted digitalization or technology upgradation, and also who are actually following the green sustainable. So you can see that in the near future there will be huge opportunity in ESG and sustainability in this MSME area, because this will be the need of the hour. And you can see small service providers and small organization which belong to this category, they are not actually, they may not comply the ESG or say sustainability. So there will be huge consultancy opportunity there also for MSME. So here we can see, and of course, not to mention that this chart was 2023, but we cannot ignore the recent policy changes also, which is with effect from April 2025. So we are going to discuss everything here so that we get a clear idea what is this actually meant for and how we can avail of this. So let us see what will be the strategic focus area of the policy. So if you see that key, if we are when we'll go through all the policies, we'll come to know that the basic objective of the government is four. That means they want to have a balanced regional development. So they just don't want that okay, the organization or the entrepreneurs who are falling under A and B category, large organization, they should only flourish. They wanted also the backward area, say falling under the category of C, D, D plus, Naxal areas, they should also come forward. So, in order to balance this regional development, they have come out with lots and lots of, you can say, subsidies, incentives, which are specifically for these backward areas only. So, availing those facilities, which that will definitely help the regional development as a whole. So that is why what is happening, the policy changes which is going to, which is actually, you can say, it's still ongoing. It focus on the mainly the balanced regional development. Plus they wanted export promotion also. So in order to promote export, they're giving lot of, you can say, export, you can say, waiver, subsidies. Also, the in order, if you participate in any international exhibition, grants are given by the government. We are going to discuss each and everything in detail. It's just here this mainly focus areas of the policy will be regional development, export promotion, ease of doing business. Now everything is digitalized online, so here you just don't have to go to any daftar or any sarkari office. It's everything is done through you can say digital platform. That is, if you are registered through Udyam, Maitri is the portal, and Maha SDB portal is there, wherein you can get a lot of information for each and every scheme and how to register there, how to avail the scheme. Everything is there. So the business is being eased off through all these digital platforms. Of course, we have already discussed that the basic objective of the government is to enhance the skill and the employment generation. So here there are lots and lot of scheme. You won't believe even the berozgar, or you can say the unemployed people, they are also getting lot of subsidies in order to become entrepreneurs. Means small scale industries are being promoted heavily under these policies. So here, so if we just, you can say, if we just find out a crisp MSME policy, what does it focus? So it focus mainly, they are actually standing on the four pillars. The four pillars of, you can say, that is financial incentives. The second is your infrastructure development. Third is support services through technology upgradation, skill development. And the fifth is women, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe development, environment sustainability. So through this, all these, you can say, these four pillars are going to actually, you can say, bring out a drastic change in the MSME world. So here what happens, we are going to discuss each and everything in detail. So here, if we see that the MSME policy mainly focuses on financial assistance, private sector lending, technology upgradation, skill development, export promotion, and environmental sustainability. So the key highlights of Maharashtra MSME policy, if we want to see, let us just find out what are the four pillars of this MSME policy. So these four pillars, if we remember these four pillars, and if we can avail these four pillars, believe me, you will gradually scale down from micro, small, and you can say, so here and it will be endless. You will become large organization very soon. So MSME, of course, अपने आप में एक large organization है, if you will think, if you will see this. So here the first pillar out of the four pillars, the first pillar is financial incentives. What are the financial incentives which the government is providing to MSME? So the four pillars may financial incentives में क्या क्या whatever you can avail. So you can avail interest subsidy, industrial promotion subsidy, that is termed as IPS, stamp duty and electricity duty exemption, and power tariff subsidy. So these are the four forms of subsidies which you can avail whenever you fall under this category. So there are different categories and different scale of subsidies applicable to this. So the first, let us discuss about interest subsidy scheme. Now here this interest subsidy scheme is, you can say, like this is also Pathshala 2.0. So similar fashion, interest subsidy scheme 2.0 was also introduced after 20. So this is again a new amendment. So first, earlier, where the people who were taking term loan, they were getting a 5% interest subsidy on the term loans. Now, if you take a home loan also after 1st September 2024, you are getting 4% interest subsidy on first 8 lakhs on home loan also. So you can see that key, it's now not restricted only to the term loans. Now it has also covered the home loans as well. So you can see that interest, you can avail 5% or 4% depending on the characteristics of the loan which you are taking. Again, if you're taking term loan, you can get maximum of 25 lakh per year for 3 to 5 years only. So here you can see it's a huge amount, and it can definitely help you. This capital, you can say, this interest subsidy can really help you in your working capital management. But if you're taking a home loan, you can get a maximum of 1.80 lakhs. Okay. And then, of course, this is applicable. The term loan is applicable for all the micro and small enterprises. So here you can see this is only for micro and small enterprises, a term loan. For home loan, of course, these are applicable to those households whose annual income is up to only 3 lakhs, 6 lakhs, and 9 lakhs. So the people who are earning very less amount, so all you can say the street vendors, they have this facility to go for home loan, buy a home for them, and get interest subsidy from the government. So this is such a beautiful, you can say, facility given by the government to the MSMEs. So here you can see how much you can save. So without subsidy, literally 50%. So 5.0 lakhs. If you're not getting any subsidy, so out of, say, if you're taking a loan of 1 crore, you are without subsidy, you are actually paying interest of 5 lakhs. But say supposing you have taken the subsidy, you will be paying only 2.50 lakhs. So that's not a small amount for the micro, you can say, MSMEs. Now, not only the interest subsidy schemes are there, there are schemes for capital. Okay, so here capital subsidy is also available. Like, for example, you are taking a loan for your, say, any capital expenditure. especially for the purchase of plant and machinery. So in that case, you can also avail 15% upfront capital subsidy on institutional finance. So if you're taking loan from any renowned institute or say any financial institute, you can take 15% upfront capital subsidy on the purchase of the plant and machinery. So this is also a huge amount, you can say. So if you're taking loan of say 1 crore worth, you are saving 15 lakhs on that purchase price. So but this is mandatory, which is this is applicable only for new and improved technology driven plant and machinery. It should not be a second hand plant and machinery. This should be remembered. This subsidy scheme is available both to new and existing enterprises. So these are specific sectors, especially for say you can say agro-based industry, textile. They can definitely avail this subsidy, and of course, additional 10% subsidy is available to the entrepreneurs from SC and ST. So, like I mentioned earlier, also, the government has really so supported out of the four pillar. The fourth pillar is for the backward caste, okay, say SC and ST tribe and women entrepreneurs. So, in order to promote that, also in order to maintain the balanced regional development, they are giving additional 10% subsidy to those people, and also those designated areas like northeastern region or Sikkim area, especially they are also giving facility this subsidy to those areas also. So you can see there's not only the interest part you are getting subsidy, you can also get subsidy on the capital expenditure as well. So the first pillar में financial incentives में we can if we want we can get interest subsidy, we can avail interest subsidy scheme. Now let us go to the second part of financial incentive. So the second part is industrial promotion scheme. So what is happening, this is also termed as IPS. So what uh, this is quite good ki you can get, you can say 100% SGST reimbursement for up to 10 years. So all those areas or taluka categories which are falling under say C, D plus category and Excel areas, they can definitely avail 100% SGST, and that is also the duration is 10 years. For of course A and B categories for large industries, they can get reimbursement of 50% of SGST. So again, this is also linked to capital investment and employment opportunities. So you can see that ki IPS can be available to those people who actually are actually going for capital investment or for employment also. They can avail for this 100% SGST reimbursement and can definitely grow their business by availing this subsidy. So this was the second part of financial incentive. The third part is, so here you can see that the mainly backward areas C category are availing more of this IPS benefit, and followed by of course the more D category, then D plus category, B category, of course A and Naxal area, they are not availing that much of facility. The third part of financial incentives which you can get from the government is through stamp duty and electricity duty waiver. So what is happening? How you can get this? So here what happens? 100% stamp duty exemption is there in C, D, D plus and Naxal talukas. So you can see that whenever you are acquiring land or say any business area also, you can go for this stamp duty waiver if that place is located in all these talukas. You can definitely get 100% stamp duty. For A and B areas, you can get 50% of stamp duty waiver. So here you can see this wonderful opportunity ki you can go for the stamp duty. So apart from interest subsidy scheme, your industrial promotion scheme, you can also avail that stamp duty and electricity duty. Of course, electricity duty can be waived for 15 years post production. So you can see that 15 years tak electricity duty can be waived, especially for these areas. And what will happen? You will be saving your working capital, as well as when you are saving the stamp duty, you are saving the capex also. So whatever capital expenditure you have done, you have saved a major chunk, whatever you have spent in the name of stamp duty. So this can be a great opportunity. So huge amount will be saved by availing just stamp duty and electricity duty waiver. So you can see this, this is just a wonderful opportunity, financial incentive, which you can avail by just getting this. So here, the fourth part of financial incentive is power tariff subsidy. So here, power tariff, how you can, of course, generally it is for energy-based energy or textile, or say agri-based, agro-based industries. They actually are mostly dependent on the power. So what happens? They are giving the subsidy of rupee 1 per unit for up to 3 years. And again, so like I mentioned earlier also, कि most of the schemes are applicable to specific sectors. So any say if you are setting up any you can say your business park, or say any a business establishment also, you can definitely look forward ki, okay, where it is falling. If it is falling under all these specific categories or areas, this is a means you can say humble request, please don't let go of these subsidy schemes and please avail this. So power tariff subsidy is rupees 1 per unit subsidy. Again, it is applicable to D plus and Nexel affected regions. And what is happening? Again, the maximum you can say, or the annual cap is of 20 lakh rupees. So if summing up, if we sum up all these financial incentives, if you want to avail financial incentives from the government, they can fall under interest subsidy scheme, industrial promotion scheme, your electricity stamp duty waiver, and your power tariff subsidy. You can avail all four if you are falling under these specific categories or in these areas. You can avail all of them. So here you can see that key how much you will be saving while purchasing or investing in any establishment, business establishment, and also your working capital. So this was the first pillar, financial incentives, comprising of the interest and your, you can say, industrial promotion subsidy, electricity, and your power stamp duty, of course. So these are the four financial incentives which you can avail if you are, of course, you are falling under the specific categories. But even if you are not falling under the specific categories, if you're falling under the A and B categories also, then also you are availing few subsidies. It's not like that, and few percentage also you are getting. The second pillar is the most interesting pillar, that is infrastructure development. So infrastructure development, of course, you have noticed already that ki, okay, when you are building up any infrastructure, you are getting some subsidies for your capital expenditure, for your purchase of plant and machinery also. So you are getting that. But if you are setting up, say, a cluster, so if 10 to 15 units are joining hands together and they are actually forming a SVP. So in that case, what happens? You are getting additional subsidies from the government. The basic objective is that ki you are going to help me and I'm going to help you. Let us share each other's expertise and which can lead to the reduction in the cost. So the major objective of the second pillar is infrastructural development, specially focused for cluster development, industrial and textile parks. So this is the so here if we want to know ki, okay, how much maximum I can get, so that's the means you can say that's the sky's the limit, because apart from the government funding, you are sharing the expertise of each other. So you can imagine how much cost you will be saving if you're going for this cluster development and forming a SVP. So here, as per the government policy, if you are going for common infrastructure, you will be getting 70% funding for this. It promotes competitiveness and shared cost. Of course, like I mentioned, okay, you if you want, you can share your expertise in the logistic, in your expertise, or say supposing ETP, all these facilities you can share with each other and accordingly share the cost also. So this will lead to the reduction in the day-to-day expenditure. You are getting 70% funding from the government. The basic actually sector or the major sector which comes under this cluster development initiative is agro processing, leather, textile, etc. So you can see there's a lot of leather, you can say manufacturers, if they come together and if they avail this facility, or the agro based, you can say farmers, these farmers can also form a cluster and they can go for funding of this to form a common infrastructure where they can avail the facility of the storage and everything. So cold storage, all these can be availed and they can share with each other the common place where they are storing it. So this is second pillar of the, you can say, the MSME policy, cluster development. Now here, I just want to discuss with you a case study. This is relating to Jalgaon textile cluster. So this was a group of 50 textile units, and they formed a SPV. And what they did, they upgraded collectively. So textile, you can see it was dying earlier, especially during the pandemic. They faced really lot of difficulties. It was later on with the initiative of the government. Now the females also have started again attracted. They are started wearing saris, and textile again. It is again taking its own pace now, which they had actually faded earlier in the earlier years. So of course, they were facing a challenge of outdated looms and there were high power cost. So here again, if you will see that if they go for purchase of the machinery, okay, and that also modernized machinery, automated machinery, and if they go for power cost ka reduction also. So of course you can answer now ki the first pillar say which financial incentive they can avail for. So they can avail for, of course, IPS. They can avail for power subsidy scheme also. So what they did, they adopted solar rooftop systems and automated looms under. This is also one of the initiative which we'll be discussing. This is also technology upgradation fund scheme, which the government has adopted. Ki if you are going for a technology driven, say automation, you are going for that, of course they are going to give you additional subsidies. So here you can see, and the total investment was 4 crores. So what happened, they formed the cluster, they got nearly 70% of funding. And but here what they did, they actually got in totality 80 lakhs ka subsidy. And because of the power subsidy scheme which they availed, they saved nearly 25% of cost. So you can imagine that with the incentives, with the government policy, if you are availing the government policies scheme, how much you can save. So this is a wonderful case, you can say use case, which is already being for followed, and people are actually now becoming aware of the scheme which the government is providing to them. So this is a case where if you form a cluster, not only you are getting funding for establishment of the unit, you are getting funding for the purchase of the automated plant, any capex, and also your power or electricity waiver if you are located there in that area. So you can see this key. This is how you can avail. The second is your industrial and textile parks. So like I mentioned, key, the government is also inclined towards establishment of the IT parks, business tech park. So here, in order to promote that, key, they have also started with the 20% subsidy on common. So again, not only agro based textile industry, they are forming clusters. But if you are from tech background, and if you are forming a tech park, you are getting 20% subsidy on the common infrastructure cost again, and this is for the developers. So here you can see how much you can again get this on the. So here when you are, if you are, so if you are towards the development of roads, ETP, power, water system, all these comes under this IT parks and industrial parks. So if you belong to this category, just don't forget to avail this 20% subsidy, but you need to form a common infrastructure. So that means you have to join together, form SPV to avail this scheme. So this was a second pillar of the, you can say, MSME policy. We have already discussed financial incentive and also the second pillar, which was related to your infrastructural development. So this, you can see that key, if you are following this or if you are aware of this, you can definitely avail this. Now here, just to discuss with you ki how IT parks or business, they have actually industrial park, how they have availed this facility. So there was a SaaS company started in private IT park with industry status. So they also, what they did, this company, they started the IT park. So they joined together with a lot of tech people. We got rebates on electricity 15% and property tax 50%. So this was located in the A and B area. So stamp duty waiver, which we already discussed, that you can avail 50%. And electricity also you can get. You know how, what impact it did because of establishment of the IT park. They actually, their operation scaled to multiples of 3 in 18 months. They expanded their exports to 120 international clients. So just imagine, by getting this funding, because of this, they saved a lot of, you can say, day-to-day expenditure by getting the subsidy, by availing this, you can say, cluster development scheme. They are getting this funding for the infrastructure. So here you can see that how you can really reduce your operational cost, reduce your capex by just availing these schemes. You just have to think like this, okay, this is applicable to my uh, business and I can avail these subsidies. Now here, if we want to conclude, what is the lesson here? This is more emphasis, this is emphasizing on cross sector application and digital economy inclusion. So here it's not like that they are promoting only the backward area, okay, agro based industry or textile. They are also promoting the digitalization also. So let us go to the third pillar. The third pillar is support services. Now, support services is which is supporting all this establishment in the form of technology upgradation, skill development, and market development assistance. So, if we see that how technology, if you are upgrading through technology or scaling up automation, you are actually embracing the automation in your establishment, what type of subsidy or what are the schemes applicable to it? Skill development, what is the skill development the government is focusing on, and the market development assistance. So the third pillar says, this is termed as Maha TUFS, that is Maharashtra Technology Upgradation Scheme. So here, what is the main focus is what? If you want to automate your organization, and if you are purchasing, of course, new plant and machinery, which is totally you can say tech driven, you can avail this scheme. Now here what happens? You will get a subsidy of 15% on that capex which you are spending. Here, the scheme, you just remember, it needs to be availed within 1 year of the purchase. So here, if you want to avail this, please remember this. The maximum cap is 30 lakh per unit. So you again, you can see if you're spending 1 crore, you are actually getting 30 lakhs. So 15% of that. So maximum you can avail 30 lakhs per unit. So the main focus of this scheme is modernization, energy efficient tech. So here the government wants now everything should be automated. You should not actually focus more on the manual work. Of course, manual work, the people will be there to drive this automated, but there will be more efficiency and production will be more. Of course, automatically it will lead to more exports, leading to the increase in the GDP. Now, if we see of course, for this facility, you will see that mainly who can be the beneficiary of this. So here again, textile, food processing, auto components, electronic. So all these categories, all these sectors can avail this Mahataf's scheme, and they can really save their capex. So this is again a boon to those companies which are actually manually driven, and where of course their production is you can say hampered because of the uh, manual work. So here what happens, lot of things can be automated by actually installing automatic machines. The second, of course, of the third pillar, we are discussing the third pillar. The third pillar is the support services, which is for the MSMEs. So here, the first we have already discussed, that is the technology upgradation. Let us see what the government has told for skill development. To skill development, you will see that there are district level skill hubs and industrial training institutes, and they are providing this training. And what happens? This training, they have the MSMEs have agreed. They have signed a pact with the government that they will hire all these trained uh, employees once they get the certificate from these hubs and the institutes. Of course, the government is also giving, you won't believe, they are also giving incentives to the employers if they hire these trained employees. So what is happening? So here both of them are actually, there's a win-win situation for both employer and employee. They are getting training also, they are getting trained by the government. The government is actually paying to the to the employer also if they are hiring these people. So here you can see that the government is taking a lot of initiatives कि जो बेरोजगार हैं, जो employed नहीं है, they're providing training to them. They're just not providing them just financial help. They train them also, and they also help them to be employed. Now, here what is happening? The major sector specific, you can say, programs are machine operations, solar installation, cold storage operation, textile handling. So, in order to promote this, you can say diminishing in these are fading. People are, they want to promote this. So, energy driven industries, the government want to promote this. A lot of dependency is there on the import of this, and the government is promoting Atmanirbhar Bharat. So in order to become Atmanirbhar Bharat, we have to be Atmanirbhar for all these, you can say, in all these areas. So machine operation, solar installation, cold storage operations, all these areas are there where where India can become Atmanirbhar and they don't have to be dependent on other countries. So now the government initiative is just to train the people who are not employed. They can be trained and they can be employed also to different organizations. So skill development initiative by the government is just to promote employment and make them employed. Now, like I mentioned, there are also initiative for the business development. So, what type of market assistance they are giving? By providing export incentives. So, export incentives is a wonderful initiative, you can say. Reimbursement. So, if you are participating in trade fairs, any international trade fairs also, you are getting 50 to 60% of your stall charges reimbursed. And you won't believe, there was one Kolhapur leather people, they actually joined together and they had attended Dubai Expo. And you won't believe, because of this, you can say, since they attended that Dubai Expo, their 70% of export, you can say they started 70 contributing to the nation, and now they are exporting 70% of their product to outside countries. So you can imagine, by just participating in the trade fairs also, it is of course a good, you can say, ground, because Indian products are definitely in huge demand outside the country. People, they usually demand, so they are very fond. So even a kurta from Khadi Gramodyog Bhavan, that desi kurta, it is in huge demand. And I have heard from people, one of my relative came from US, and they said ki ISKCON, so when they go to buy this khadi wala kurta from ISKCON, it is, you can't imagine the cost at which they are selling. And in India, we don't actually uh, promote that khadi wala kurta. I don't see people, many people wearing that khadi kurta. So here what happens? So if people are not demanding in India, okay, let's export to outside country. And I have gone to so Kolhapuri chappal, of course, people, they do demand, but they're in huge demand again outside India. So if the government, with this initiative, what is happening? They're getting an opportunity to actually attend the global fairs, global exhibitions. They are getting funding from the government, and in a way, they are actually promoting to the export of our country. Next is, not only they are reimbursing the participation charges, they're also giving subsidy on freights and logistic cost also. So if you're exporting, uh, on the export, whatever you're spending, say on the freight or logistic cost, you can get up to 25% of the reimbursement spent on this logistic cost. So you can imagine how much cost you are saving. First of all, you have saved the, you can say, the participation, you are the traveling charges, the logistic cost also when you're going for export, and of course free onboarding to online trade portals. So there are many portals wherein you can promote your products there. So there is one India Mart, Amazon Global Selling. So again, many people, they are not aware of us that कि Amazon का global selling भी है, India Mart भी है, wherein you are getting free onboarding to these platforms. So there are onboarding platform charges for other, you can say, Digi platform, but these platforms, they are not charging a penny when you are onboarding your products. But of course, you have to fall under MSME category, and most of the people. So here, I've seen many people, they are selling their product. They go for simple. So even housewives also, they try to sell their homemade products also. So if at all, if we can make them aware that there are platforms wherein they don't have to shell a penny, and still they can promote their product on that platform. They can go abroad also, outside India also, and showcase their homemade recipes, small thing, pickle also, which can be of huge demand. They can start exporting their products also. So we can definitely help also the small MSMEs to grow by just making them aware ki, look, the government is definitely promoting your initiative. You can avail these subsidies, and you just don't have to remain aloof from the main, you can say, organizational setup. So you don't know, a person, a housewife staying by can become, means, can be in huge demand because of these initiatives only. The fourth pillar. So we are coming to the fourth pillar. So just a quick recapitulation of the pillars. So first pillar, we have already done financial incentives. Second was infrastructural development. And the third, the support services through technology upgradation, skill development, and the export incentives. Now the fourth pillar, these are the special provisions. And these are focused only to some special categories. So here, of course, there is a support for women entrepreneurs. So apart from the regular support, they can also avail special support through this scheme also. So women entrepreneurs, and of course SC and ST categories also, they can get they can fall under this category of the special provision. And the last but not the least is environmental sustainability, which we were already saying that okay, in order to sustain in this global warming, we have to adopt sustainability and we have to go for the sustainability. So here what is happening? These are the special provision uh, specifically focused for women entrepreneurs, SC, ST categories, and those organizations which adopts environment sustainability. So here, if you see that, we have already discussed that IPS benefit was related to the reimbursement of 100% SGST. Okay, but maybe if you are not falling under that category or that areas, you will be availing 50%, say less than 100%. But if you are a woman entrepreneur or you are falling under SC ST category, you can definitely avail an IPS benefit additional 5 to 10%. So women-led MSMEs and D plus talukas get higher subsidies as compared to other areas, you can say. So you are availing the area subsidies also. So area driven and also special provision related to women and SC ST entrepreneurs. Of course, this cluster funding is also reserved for tribal and self-help groups also. So the cluster funding, which we discussed, 70% of common infrastructure, the funding cost they are funding. So they are the additional benefit again, the tribal people or self-help group can also avail for this reserve cluster funding. Now here, like we were discussing Maitri, all these benefits which we want to actually, if we are availing all the scheme or if we want to get to know all the schemes, there is a portal called Maitri and it's a dedicated track. There is a you can say a special, you can say there is a uh, reserve track for SC ST applicants also. So here you get a special, you can say, benefit if you fall under this category. So a tribal, just to discuss with you, a tribal textile unit in Nandurbar. So they got this fast track funding. So many times what happens, we are applying and again it is withheld. It takes time. It takes time to clear. It takes time to clear. But through Battery platform, what happens? You get a fast track funding, especially if you're falling under SC ST category. And because of this tribal from Nandurbar, they got land approvals very fast, and they they actually established the textile unit in a very, means you can say, easy manner. So of course, it's a digital platform, but again, approval, it takes a lot of time. But special facility is being given to women and SC ST entrepreneurs just to promote them. Now, like textile unit of Andurbar, this is again a case of, you can say, there was a woman who was actually from science background only, and she wanted to set up a millet agro industry, and it was located in D plus Taluka only. So what happened? She wanted some schemes so that she can save some money. Now, how she saved the money? So you can see this key how well means, and you, of course, you can definitely go for this consultancy now. You can definitely consult MSMEs by just getting more deeper knowledge of all these schemes, and you can provide consultancy to all these small medium enterprises, micro enterprises also. So here what happens, you can provide consultancy to them. You will be helping them also by developing our art, and of course you will be developing our Atmanirbhar Bharat also. So what she did, since she was located in D plus Taluka, she availed 100% stamp duty waiver. She went for IPS, okay, because that was 100% SGST waiver. And through Maitri platform, what she did, she got land and electricity approvals very fast. So land ka mil gaya, and of course stamp duty waiver and electricity ka. She all she did all through that digital platform Maitri, which helped it to streamline it. Now, what was the outcome for this? She created 60 jobs saved 20 lakhs in setup. So, and what happens, of course, because of the stamp duty, she saves 20 lakhs. What she did, this money, 20 lakhs which she saved, she again reinvested in packaging and cold chain facilities. So you can imagine ki how diversified she made. So not only she got funding, she also reinvested in other units of her organization. So you can see that ki how well you have to you can definitely avail this facility in a very well mannered. Now, what is the lesson from this? Ki you should be, this is a highlight of empowerment, backward area development, and practical use of incentives. So the basic objective of discussion of this four pillar was कि you have to decide, okay, you fall under which category and which schemes are applicable under this category. Can you club more subsidies to this so that not only the capex, you can save the operational cost also, can you save the logistic cost also, can you save other cost also. So you need to make you can say uh, an outline of the different schemes which are applicable to your category, to the business unit where it is located, and accordingly you can avail the schemes. And of course, like I mentioned, it has become very easier now to avail all these facilities. So what is happening? The fourth pillar, the last part is environment sustainability and green MSMEs. And it is really, I can say, that it's a wonderful initiative. And you won't believe ki, since 2 years, I have also entered into this ki how we can make our MSMEs green. So green MSME. So we have a lot of consultants associated with us who not only, so if we go to MSME कि okay आपका ये कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड बहुत emit करता है आपका plant, so you should reduce it because we need to follow sustainability. Who is going to listen to us कि अच्छा क्या करना है क्यों करना है ऐसा. But if you go, so problem, everyone goes with the problem. You have to go with the problem and with the solution. So if you're advocating or consulting the MSMEs with the solution, they will definitely embrace you and definitely they will avail your facility. So what is the criteria here? Ki if I'm saying ki, okay, your plant is emitting a lot of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, so or methane gas or any other harmful gases it is emitting in the air. If I give them the solution, ki no, if you install this part, you can avail, you can go for sustainability. Okay, very well. Then they, of course, they say ki acha, agar main ye part, if uh, I have to purchase that part, it will entail cost. So here again, the double bonanza will be that ki you will give a double solution. Ye part ka, I will get you the subsidy from the government. I'll get the funding from the government. You can get a 100% waiver on this. So in this manner, if you are going with to this MSMEs with a tailor-made solution, कि, okay, this is the part which is required to remove the emissions, harmful gases emission from your, you can say, plant and machinery, how you can automate it, how you can make it tech driven. Plus, I will also help you to get funding from the government. And these are the schemes in which you will not only save the capex, the amount, a major part of capex, but you will also be saving your administrative cost, your logistic cost. You will also get a chance to showcase your product in international hubs or exhibition. In this manner, what will happen? Ki definitely the MSMEs will listen to us and it will also help them to grow. So, in order to promote environmental sustainability, this is a new scheme which the government has launched. It is under the, you can say, roof of MSME Champions. So, MSME Champions में ZLD, innovation, competitiveness through Lean Sigma, and plus digital. ये चार उन्होंने merge किया है just to actually promote environment sustainability and skill development. So this also creates competitiveness among themselves. Ki, okay, who can become more greener than that? So zero liquid discharge (ZLD) and effluent treatment plant subsidies for pollution control. All these subsidies are given by the government. If you just showcase to the government that ki, okay, this will lead to zero liquid discharge, and of course for the effluent treatment plant, this is all for pollution control. You can get subsidy. Again, if we go by one case, that is a textile dye unit in Ichhal Karanji, they installed ZLD system with 40 lakh support, and this helped them to export uh, export to a large extent. So you can see that ki, if we go with the solution to the MSMEs, it will definitely lead to sustainable environment, and we can all make our environment green MSMEs. Okay, and of course, we have already discussed about other incentives also, like Maha Tufts, like technology upgradation के लिए plant and expand, so plant and machinery का भी मिल सकता है. There are other benefits which you can also avail of. So if we see this key, this is a strategic pillar of MSME beneficiary groups. So if we see that key, the policy impact score, if we want to see that key, who is availing the more, you can say, benefit of this. So you can just see that key how it is the uh, table is going on, and if we note it, we can see that ki the backward areas, which are falling under D plus Naxal area, they receive the most comprehensive support from all the, so across all pillars, all the four pillars, which was financial incentives, infrastructural development, support services, and the special provision for women and SC tribes, environmental sustainability. They can avail the most. So uh, the target is not to ignore them. The target is to include them. So this is just an inclusion. So a broad inclusion of all these categories in our MSME group, you can say. The second beneficiary group, if you will see that, they are women SC/ST entrepreneurs. So they get this. And the third cluster MSMEs and urban. So here you can see that ki how these categories are availing the most. So this was all about the, you can say, the MSME policy changes or the focus area where you can go for it. So it was a generalized discussion of the four pillars in which the MSME, Maharashtra MSME policy is actually there. So the whole Maharashtra MSME policy is actually on the four pillars of this, you can say, schemes. But apart from that, there are innumerable scheme, let me tell you. So if you go to Maharashtra ka state data bank, there's a huge reservoir where you can see the whole information of lot many schemes. So subsidy lete lete thak jaoge, but list is endless, I'm telling you, believe me. So just to discuss with you more subsidy schemes. So few are centralized, central-based schemes, and few are especially Maharashtra-based schemes. So initially, these are central-based, like for example, Prime Minister Employment Generation Program, so which is popularly known as PMEGP, and it promotes self-employment. So any person who is 18 years or above, they can go for this PMEGP. And margin money subsidy, you can get from 15% to 35% for projects. And it is ranging from again 50 lakhs for manufacturing and 20 lakhs for service industry. Now, this is the data till December 2024. Up to 1798 projects were assisted, and 927 projects were assisted in 23-24. So here, December 2024, mein, you can see that so many projects have been already assisted. The second scheme is Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for micro and small enterprises. So this is, we have already discussed this credit linked scheme. The subsidy scheme was there. This actually is, you can say, in addition to that, here you are getting a guarantee. And this is a collateral free loan. So you don't have to give any collateral for this for MSMEs. credit guarantee up to 5 crore, which have been increased to 10 crores, and special benefits for again women, SC, ST, Z units. Guarantee coverage from 50% to 85% is there. So you can avail this collateral free loans and especially focus for women. So this is used by MSMEs across districts, and SIDBI is actually backing up this facility. The next is cluster development program, which I already discussed with you. The cluster development, if you are forming a cluster, say SVP, you get a funding. So here, this subsidy is up to 60 to 90% of project cost. Subsidy may vary from the categories, location also. Maximum is 30 crores for your credit facilitation cell. So here you can see this key, how you can get it. Again, so I think there's a printing error here. So here up to 25 lakhs and 10 lakhs manufacturing project cost is eligible here. Next is scheme of fund for regeneration of traditional industry. इसको स्फूर्ति बोलते हैं. This is for revival of the traditional industries through clusters. So all the traditional industry like textile, your agro-based, all these industries who were actually dying, now these can form a cluster, and through Sfurti, they can get, you can say, backup. So up to 5 crore per cluster, you can get funding. And this includes handloom, bamboo clusters, mainly Nagpur and all other, you can say, parts of India. There is one more, you can say, scheme, that is Aspire. So I can go on and on discussing all these schemes. And I already told you that this is endless list. And you will be amazed by so many subsidy schemes which we are also not aware of कि अच्छा मैं तो यहाँ पे भी fit हो सकती हूँ and I can avail this financial support from the government. This innovation Aspire is specially focused to support for rural and agro-based enterprises. So this is grants up to 1 crore you can get, and definitely you can get this facility. Now let's come to the MSME policy, and especially which are applicable. These are new MSME policy, including 2023 and 2025 also. So this is zero defect, zero effect certification scheme. It's very interesting. Zero defect, zero effect certification scheme. So it is actually, like I told you, MSME champion. MSME champion के अंडर में ये आता है, and there the main focus I mentioned, that is the main focus is your sustainability, innovation, your lean sigma, and your digitalization. So here what Z means to say is that you get a subsidy, and you get a subsidy plus you get a certificate. So certificate like bronze 10,000 and silver ka 40 and gold ka certification you can get it apart from the subsidy for the Z. There are multiple units certified in this Pune, Nashik, Thana, and these are the areas where you can get it, and still people are going for it. Now, here the RAMP is also one of this, that it is Market Access Finance and Reform Support, and this is World Bank support. So these are the different, you can say, schemes which are there. Now, one more, you can say, interesting and the recently introduced scheme is Self-Reliant India Fund. SRI fund बोलते हैं उसे, और फंडो फंड बोलते हैं. This is for startup and MSME equity funding support. So those who are inclined towards financial market, capital market, they can definitely go for this. And इसे बोलते हैं equity through daughter funds to MSMEs with 10,000 crore to support startups. So they have, a government has demarcated specially 10,000 crore to support the startups. So please, if you really want to go for the financial, if you are inclined towards equity market, all this, you can go for this funding also. So MSMEs in Pune, Navi Mumbai, they are backed by SIDBI SRI funds. You can go for this. Digital MSME, again, it's a part of your MSME champions. This also promote cloud, IT, and automation, and you get a reimbursement of tech adoption. Of course, we have already discussed this Mahatufs, wherein you can go for tech adoption and get the technological upgradation. This again, a lot of units are being supported by this, especially in Thane, Nagpur, Aurangabad. procurement and marketing support, international cooperation. Again, this was already there, like I mentioned, key expos, or if you are participating in exhibitions. So all MSMEs from Maharashtra, they are getting the support to attend these expos in Dubai, Germany, and of course, Delhi also. This is also one of the recently introduced, you can say, um, scheme, that is PM Vishwakarma. Now, this Vishwakarma is really wonderful for those traditional artisans, sculptures, and believe me, it's a beautiful for those who are very, very, very small. You can say we cannot say entrepreneurs, but of course they are at a very lower uh, means level may they are there, and they are earning very less, and this is to empower them. You get a toolkit up to 15,000, 3 lakh ka loan hai. And if you going availing this training facility, you get a 500 per day ka stipend, collateral free loan of again 3 lakhs, and UPI digital awards. So here nearly 3.6 lakh women vendors have been covered, specially focused in the region of Maharashtra. So you can see this PM Vishwakarma, MSME champions, and you can say the self-reliant fund. They are the new MSME scheme which is uh, taking a use, you can say, pace, and the MSMEs are getting lots and lots of financial support from the government. Apart from this, there are many schemes specially focused for micro and small enterprises. So the micro and small enterprises, they can definitely avail of this Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, and they can, when they are availing this, they get a collateral free loan of 10 lakhs under Shishu, Kishore, Tarun categories. And already till 2025, 2.7 lakh crore has been disbursed. And Maharashtra ranks 6th nationally for this disbursement. So Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana is a beautiful, and I have seen people availing this. I have also consulted many people to avail this Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. It's a wonderful to actually escalate or to just promote any small or micro enterprises to just go forward. Again, this Prime Minister Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Nidhi. Uh, this is also a new facility which the government is providing now. Urban street vendors. So you can see lot, and in Mumbai too. You can see Mumbai ki har ek city mein you can see urban street vendors. There are lots and lots of urban street vendors. So if you go and tell them ki you can get 10,000 loan, interest subsidy and cashback for digital transactions. So आजकल तो सभी सब्जी वाला भी पेटीएम कर ही रहे हैं. So what happens if you can just tell them and consult कि आपको cashback मिल सकता है for all this digital transaction, you can get a 10,000 loan. Believe me, they are going to be very happy. Their life will be, and you will get a lot of blessings from them also. There's another scheme for that is Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, and it is for urban poor again, SHGs, unemployed youth, subsidized loans milte, skill training. So this is how you can say it goes on. The list is endless, and you can definitely refer the schemes which are there available, easily available. You can visit Maharashtra government site and you can get this. So there are National Rural Livelihood Mission, self-employment training. All these we have already discussed that ki how the youths are being trained and they are being employed also with the initiative of the government. So this is how thus you can see that ki um, there are many many schemes which we are also not aware of, and through this small help we can definitely provide help or console even a street vendor also. They can avail this facility. Now, of course, in order to mitigate the risk of MSMEs whenever they are in business, they are getting two facilities. One is backed by SIDBI. This is refinance and revival packages. They offer low interest refinancing for tech upgrades and COVID affected units. And the other is MSME Samadhan. So for any delayed payments, we all know that 45 days is the maximum limit. So MSME Samadhan mein, you can enable MSMEs to file complaint against payment delays by PSUs or corporates, and it will be the judgment is done under 90 days only. So it's such a beautiful, you can say, backing up by the government, even for the risk mitigation also. Now, we have already discussed the different schemes which you can avail, and you can definitely go for it. But of course, know this also ki how you can ease off your doing business. So for that, you need to know only the three names, that is Udyam registration, Maha SDB login for subsidies, and Maitri for approvals and land permission. Let us know what is Udyam registration. Of course, it is also a unique ID proof of your business. You need to register yourself in order to get the facility of the Maha State Data Bank and Matrika platform. So for that, you have to be registered under the Udyam platform, and any business entity, proprietorship, partnership, LLP, private limited, all these who are falling under MSME category, they can avail this. So even if you are from manufacturing sector or service sector or trading sector, you all get the you can all register, but you should fall under the MSME criteria. What will the benefit? Of course, I told you ki you get automatically linked to the Maha SDB platform and Maitri portal. You also get easier access to export schemes, incubators, cluster programs, any new schemes which are coming in, subsidy scheme which are coming in or infusing in the policy, that also gets updated. Private sector lending and reduce interest under Mudra scheme. Of course, you get exemption from earnest money deposit, and you get access to government subsidies. So you just have to go and visit udyamregistration.gov.in to get yourself registered. Now, as we were discussing about the Maharashtra State Data Bank, that is Maha SDB, that Maha SDB, it is an IT initiative, and of course this consolidates and collect all the database across the departments. So what happens, it helps in what it helps in decision support system. You can track your application status, file subsidy claims also. So all the tracking all through can be done through Maha SDB portal. It's a knowledge repository also, so those who are a researcher or academician, any information you want to know, you can just visit Maha SDB. So the schemes which are there, all you can get from here. Like we were discussing about Maitri. Maitri is what Maharashtra Industry Trade and Investment Facilitation Cell. So it helps whenever you want to avail any, say, registration for your land permission or other things, you can go to the Maitri platform. It integrates platform for approvals and incentives. So whenever you want to avail any scheme, you have to go to Maitri portal and avail that scheme. Uh, Before that, you have to get yourself registered in Udyam platform. And of course, for in order to know the details or everything, you can refer Maha SDB platform also. What is happening if you want to get a centralized information of all the permissions and subsidy tracking, you can visit Maitri. But don't worry, everything is linked, auto-linked. All the three platforms are auto-linked, so you can get information of everything. So apart from all these digi platform, you can say, there is also other digitalization being done like QR coded certification, real-time status, DigiLocker, and e-sign integration is also being done in order to uh, just ease off the business, doing business. So just to ease off your operational work, your day-to-day work, this digit platform is available to you. You don't have to visit any office nowadays. Now, how to monitor and track benefits, which I have already discussed, that you can visit Maha SDB platform or Maitri portal. You also get email and SMS alerts also for scheme status, and you can there are district uh, there are centers, and Maharashtra ke bhi centers, industrial centers are there. You can just monitor them and get quarterly audit forms. So overall, if we see that if we want to just evaluate what about the benefits of the revision. So like in the beginning, we mentioned the overall objective of the business was balanced regional development, ease of doing business, and export incentive. All these were there. So if we see this, through these incentives, the government is aiming in more inclusiveness. So they have brought all the backward areas also under the radar of the subsidy. So it brings inclusiveness. So not only the agro based or the say you can say textile, all these industries are prospering. They are giving incentive to IT parks also. So all the sector wise also they have really taken care of. They really support the growth of all this business, and the subsidies which they are giving are wonderful. You can club lot many subsidies, 2 3 subsidies together, and can save a lot of money. Now already we have discussed a lot of case studies. Now if we go for sector wise case studies, so we can see that ki growth in Pune, Nashik and Aurangabad is happening because they are actually availing Mahatufs and park infrastructure. So cluster development, which we mentioned in the third pillar, you can see so they are availing a lot of the third pillar ka facility. And if we discuss this, so SMT line upgraded in Aurangabad received 25 lakh subsidies under Mahatufs and doubled productivity by automating PCB assembly. So you can see this key how the you can say different areas, different districts are actually availing these schemes and the subsidies which the government are providing, and literally they are doubling their productivity. Now, if we see agro-based SMEs of Maharashtra, so especially in the rural areas, they are again availing Mahatufs, IPS, and cluster subsidies. And so, what they are doing, they are making a cluster, all these making a SVP, all 10 to 15 units, they are coming together, forming a cluster and availing the cluster subsidies. To discuss with, there's a Solapur dal mill, and they formed a cluster SPVA and set up solar dryers. So again, Mahatuf's upgradation skill and common packaging units. So they all made a cluster and they made a common packaging units. Believe me, they saved nearly 30% of their logistic apart from getting subsidies from the government. So this is a wonderful, you can say, initiative. So logistic and warehousing MSMEs, again, they are growing due to e-commerce and again industrial. So here what is happening, uh, you can say, like I mentioned, ki, okay, now e-commerce is a buzzword, or people, they don't have time to go for the malls. Sometimes they are so busy in their work. So e-commerce, of course, is growing, and again they are growing. They can avail these schemes given by the government. So if your business establishment is under D plus zones or Naxal areas, you can definitely go for IPS eligibility and duty waivers. So just to give explain a small example of one unit, there was a Jalna logistic hub for agro export. This logistic startup was reimbursed 100% IPS on fixed capital. They received duty waivers on equipment imports, and this enabled 24-hour cargo connectivity to regional farmers for export fruits and vegetables. So all the so you know कि मुंबई के जो Alfonso mangoes, and they are very popular. So you can so all these is really promoting the export business because they availed this scheme, and they got 100% IPS in their capex, as well as because of the duty waivers in electricity, they are definitely is actually is flourishing. Now, of course, there are tariff wars. Let's not discuss that. But amidst all this, the government initiative to promote that, we cannot ignore that also. And what happens? It's not like this. If we combine together everything, and if we discuss that, if we combine all the digital platform, Udyam, MahaSDB, and Maitri, it's a complete support, because you don't have to visit any place for the incentive scheme, for the reimbursement of any duty waiver or IPS scheme. So through this complete support, you can just think of an idea and transform it to a reality. That's the main thing. That's the main, you can say, the policy, the change in the policy is driven towards. So what is happening again, just to give an example, a student-led EV component idea in Pune was incubated at a local ITI. So a student just thought of an EV component. What they did, they registered on Udyam, claimed benefits through Maha SDB, got land through Maitri. So I'm just telling you how these three platforms is helping you to do business without any person to approach with. And this close the loop from innovation to commercialization. So you just have to think about an idea, and that idea is going to be converted into a reality by just availing, just becoming aware of this. So here, three portals are there to help you and get you the benefits, whatever you want. So that's all from my side. Thank you for patient listening. Uh, I'm uh, open for the questions if you want.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, ma'am, for such an insightful session. So I am sure the audience will have some questions. Uh, Hello, participants. You can post your questions in the chat box. We have Pinky ma'am to answer those questions. Let's give it a minute. While our audience is coming up with some question, I have a couple of questions, Pinky ma'am. So if you
Yes,
could help
please.
me.
Yes, Sabali, very
Yeah.
happy to.
Ma'am, first of all, it was a very insightful session. But how would you suggest? Because a lot of chartered accountants are not even aware of these kind of schemes available, which could be very useful for the client and as well as for the consultants to
Hmm.
consultant to the clients, which will create a niche or for them as well. So how do you suggest one should proceed ahead with that if someone wants to create a niche in this market?
So as a CA, so we are also rather falling under MSCV category only. We are as entrepreneurs, so we can just we know whenever we are auditing or whenever we are consulting a client of ours, we can find out whether they are falling under MSME criteria or not. So definitely based on the MSME classification and criteria, and if they say plan to establish their unit in some areas, you can definitely make an outline, like I mentioned in the session also, ki you can make a customized plan for your client. Ki, okay, these schemes can be availed of, and you can guide your client to get all those subsidies. And of course, if they are saving money, you're getting your consultancy.
Yeah, definitely. So I do have some questions coming in from the audience side. So there is one question which is, I think half of it you have already answered. Are there any incentives for women-led or SC/ST-led MSME? So I think you've spoken about the women one. If you don't mind repeating that, that would be great.
So
And I think specific is SC/ST here as well.
yeah,
Any
so the
specific?
women entrepreneurs also, they are getting additional 5 to 10% of the subsidy IPS facility they can get. Plus, for loan also, they get additional 2 crore ka collateral free loan, extra means. So you just,
Okay.
that's what I mentioned, ki the list is endless. And so 2 hours will be less, means if I discuss all the list, all the schemes, it will be less. That is why I just have given you the highlights. Ki, okay, there are scheme for women There are scheme for SC, ST also. There are scheme for areas falling under D plus talukas or Naxal areas. So you just have to just go to Maha SDB portal, or you get yourself registered on that Udyam platform. You will get the list of the platform. You just have to search. It's totally, I will say, ki tech driven. It's very simple, very simple. You can definitely go and visit that platform and get yourself registered to know more details. So maybe which business you are starting, of course, a specific business आया तो you can definitely make a customized plan कि okay, these are the schemes which are available, and अगर women है तो वहाँ सोने पे सुहागा, SC ST हो गया तो okay, एक और तड़का लग गया, and wonderful scheme का subsidies you can get it.
Great, great. Is there any scheme which will focus on land development or land cost subsidies? There would be,
So
right?
land wala, I told you, Matrix portal mein if you go, you can get the land capex which we're saying, we were
Yeah.
discussing also capex expenditure you can get. So you can get whenever you are availing term loan, you are getting the waiver. So term loan ka we discussed 4% subsidy was there in the interest. And if you're taking a term loan for the purchase capital expenditure, you are getting 15% on that capital subsidy. So capital amount. So there are, I've already discussed the 4 pillars. So if you just focus on that
Yeah.
4 pillars, you can definitely एक ना एक तो स्कीम मिल ही जाएगा आपको, और फिर जैसे जैसे आप जाओगे द स्कीम विल जॉइन टुगेदर एंड देयर विल बी बूम,
Yeah.
मतलब पता चला
So
कि सारे सेव कर लिया आपने.
yeah. So now there are a few more questions coming. I'm just gonna club them because they are
Yes, yes.
similar to each other. There's a question on export-oriented MSME. Is there any, provision for skill development or training under MSME scheme? Then R&D, and also one on any specific provision or MSME scheme for backward or rural areas. So just
Hmm.
skill development, export-oriented, I think you have
So
already
I think
covered.
Sabha, you can also answer now, since you attended the session. अब तो आप भी आंसर कर सकते हो, क्योंकि all these I covered in my session also.
Actually,
कि
I
हाँ
do
बस
have that. Yeah, you do have covered this. So, like, yeah,
हाँ.
ma'am has specifically spoken about the export oriented, what the export benefits, incentives that can be given to exporters here. R&D, I'm sure R&D and rural areas also have been covered. Apart from that, R&D and skill development, if you can help me out, that would be great.
So
Otherwise, I do
R&D, I
understand
mentioned
now.
Mahatufs, technology upgradation. So I
Yeah, yeah,
mentioned that also. Mahatufs, maybe you can go for
correct.
this technology upgradation. There is a scheme there also. So you can avail the facility. And wonderful, अगर आपको R&D करना है, so you are from manufacturing sector, and if you're falling under say agro based textile और वो सब में, make a cluster, make a SPV, तो आपको cluster development funding भी मिल जाएगा. So that will
Okay.
be a wonderful thing. And skill development also I discussed, that was falling under third pillar only. The third pillar में skill development I mentioned कि lot of initiatives are being taken. Like for example, I told you कि the government is going to train you, and they have actually arranged, they have signed an agreement with the MSMEs only and large organization also कि if they hire these people, these trained people, they will be reimbursed. So it's
I
a
think
double win-win situation.
there's a policy called as NAPS and
हाँ. So
NANTS,
so
right?
हाँ.
National
So
Apprentice, yeah.
yes, correct. So what happens as an MSME also, you can approach government ki, okay, I will hire this trained people which you are training them at your ITI. So what happens at
Correct.
the skill hubs, if you're training, if you hire, so you will get. I also got an offer from one platform. I don't want to mention the name. So he told कि आपके यहाँ जितने भी employees है, the government is going to reimburse for their training. You just train them. Training is not, does not mean कि अच्छा आपको कोई हैंडलूम या टेक्सटाइल हैंडलिंग या वैसे ही होना चाहिए. They also reimburse for your further education also. So if you are falling under MSc category and you have got employees, you can ask for that also. So if they
Yeah.
are at a graduate level or say 10th pass या 12th pass है, जो पढ़ नहीं सके, you can get
Yeah.
subsidies from the government also for that.
Yeah. So that will kind of like, improve employment ratios definitely. Yeah.
Correct.
Then I think there are a couple of questions regarding the processes. Both the questions are centered around the part that how do one get assistance in getting these registrations, public procurement registration like GEMS, or like how do we one register? So you have spoken about Maitri. I think that is how the process will start, right?
No, no. First, you have to get yourself registered at the Udyam platform. So you have to
Correct, correct.
go. Yeah, you have to go. Very simple. Means you will get one unique ID proof of your
Yeah,
classification, which category you are falling. And with that, it gets automatically linked to Maitri and Maha SDB. So from
and
there, you can, yeah. So what happens from there, from Maitri platform, you can get incentives also, the updates also, okay, where your scheme is actually, or your status, where it is there. So you can get the update also. My HDB where if you go, you can get the full detail of the schemes which you can avail of. So for
and the
that,
process
there
is
is a,
there.
yeah. So for that, you have to first yourself get yourself registered. And after getting registered, you can definitely get a hands-on, means okay, these are the schemes which I can advise my client also, and get them
Right.
also registered. So उद्योग में register करना हर MSME थोड़ी ना, मतलब उतना बस time भी नहीं है वो सब. So that is
Correct.
why I told कि now we are in a very better position कि for consultancy. So consultancy, uh, we have to come out from the traditional जो practice कर भी रहे हैं audit and taxation. They can do this consultancy along with that, because lot of our clients fall under this MSME category only, and they really want solution. प्रॉब्लम नहीं चाहिए उनको कि ओके ये लैग है वो लैग है, उनसे कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Because now the most promising area which is going to come will be sustainability, ESG. So here
Correct.
they don't want problem. Acha, I know our organization is emitting these harmful gases. You have to come out with solution. Solution with the funding. So
Fine.
funding अगर आपको दिलवाना है, you can definitely avail Maha Tufts का वो scheme, and they will get funding also. They will not have any problem. Who doesn't want automation? Everyone wants automation. But
Correct.
पैसे मिल जाए तो automation करने में क्या problem है?
I know. Okay, I'll end with the last question, which is what role do District Industry Center (DICs) play in implementing the MSAP policy?
Can you come back again? I just missed the question.
What role do District Industry Center (DICs) play in
Mhm.
implementing the policy?
So they also actually, you can say, uh, they can become a hub of training center also, skill development, all these, and there you can just go and visit these places also for your monitoring. Nowadays, since these portals are there now, so it doesn't matter. So mainly they are actually now serving for the skill development, for the training facilities, all these, and for any other further inquiries if you want. Apart from the portals, you can definitely visit this. So Maharashtra industrial centers and this DICs are playing role, very important role, to actually, you can say, streamline the operational work. So one should be there to supervise all these portals also. The digit
Correct.
digital platform cannot operate from themselves.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, ma'am. So before I move on to the formal vote of thanks for this amazing session, appeal to everyone, as Gyanchan ji has rightly mentioned during the start of the webinar, is that there's a conference going to be held, the first event for the MSME committee, which is going to be held at Sahara Star in Mumbai. So we request everyone to sign up for that. It's going to be an amazing event. The link for the same has been posted in the chat box, so you can visit there and get more information about it. And
I just
now,
want to add, sorry, Sabha, I just want to add
yeah,
here, because I mentioned that I was there in the meeting when this conference actually discussions were being held. So it will be a huge platform. Why? Because there will be MSMEs coming all over India, and there will be CAOs also. So what will happen? You will get an opportunity to give consultancy on one-to-one basis. So what is happening? It's an opportunity for your, you can say, professional services also. कि you can provide that, you can get MSMEs handy वहाँ पे मिल सकता है. And with
Yeah.
all the schemes updated, you can go to them and you can advise them. So that's the main objective.
Thank you, Tingina. So now I'll formally move on to the vote of thanks. Um, Good afternoon, everyone. It is my privilege and honor to deliver the vote of thanks for today's insightful and enriching session. On behalf of all of us present here, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed speaker, Pinky Ma'am, for her outstanding presentation on the Maharashtra MSME schemes. Ma'am, the session was not only informative but incredibly practical. You walked us through a wide range of schemes from export incentive to cost reduction subsidies to environmental support programs. Each one explained in a way that was easy to grasp and apply. What truly made your session stand out was the way you brought it to life with real life case studies. These examples have helped everyone in the room to see how these schemes can be used effectively. They didn't just inform, they actually inspired. Your insights on cost saving measure remind us that a penny saved is actually a penny earned. So in the MSME landscape, it would be a cost saved is actually equal to capital created. So you have actually shown us that being aware and proactive, MSMEs can unlock significant value and growth. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you once again for taking the time to share your deep expertise with us. It was truly a masterclass and an opportunity and impact. We have to hope to have the pleasure of hearing from you soon again. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabha,
Right.
and thank you to the whole committee and everyone, our participants. Thanks a lot to everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for a wonderful session. Thank you,
Thank you.
ma'am. Thank you for this. Thank you, the team.
Thank you.